Welcome back, guys, to another episode of 30 and Dirty Podcast with your hosts, Spencer
and Bo.
All right, guys, we're just going to dive right into it. We were thinking the other day, me and Bo were at the bar, and we were talking about some of our past jobs, and I was asking Bo what his past job was, and let everyone know what your last job was. Not his last job, his first job.
It's my first job. I actually had two first jobs. So the first one, I was washing hog trailers. I was washing the shit out of like hog trailers. So
No, let's be specific what you mean by hogs.
Hogs, as
Because it could be
big pigs, not penises. So back in the Midwest, there's a lot of
Penises.
Sorry, a lot of
going.
hogs. Anyways, they have these huge trailers that they transport them from the farm to the slaughterhouse in, and in that transit, there's a lot of shitting going on.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of shitting from the hogs.
Yep.
So when they are done with these trailers, somebody's got to clean those fucking hog trailers. So that's what I did. So I'd go in the bay wash, and they'd have the big trailer parked, and they'd give you a pressure washer, and they'd just be like, all right, we want all this hog shit off the stainless steel trailer.
Where are you pushing the shit?
So
You're just pushing it?
You open up the back of the trailer, and then you essentially start at the front of the trailer, and then you pressure wash. There's two levels to these trailers. So there's the top level where they put the pigs, and the bottom level where they put the pigs. So you start at the top, you're pressure washing all the shit down to the bottom floor, and then you gotta go underneath, and then pressure wash all the shit out that back door. And I'm talking, this was a summer job. Obviously, I was in high school at the time. So it's 120 degrees in these bays that you wash these things in because it's all enclosed in these.
And you're just filled with shit?
Covered in shit. Literally, I mean, obviously you're pointing this pressure washer, all this shit, and it's flying back at you, hitting you in the eyes.
You're not wearing glasses, goggles, nothing?
No. I was wearing...
Mouth guard?
Shit guard. I was wearing a fucking cutoff.
What's a shit guard?
Oh, it's just something you just put on you to...
You meant chin guard.
Yeah. So, and essentially, by the end of this, you're fucking covered in shit and just sweating fucking balls. And it was probably, I mean, it was a good, like, learning experience. It was like, it put me in that mindset. It was like, I don't want to fucking have to do this the rest of my life. So I think it was a good first job in that manner. But what I would do after that, I'd wash those hog fucking trailers in the morning. And then
yeah.
and then it come 2 o'clock, I'd have to go to Willie's, which is a grocery store in town.
Did you ever fuck these hogs?
I never got to see the hogs. That was the worst part. I just had to clean up after their shit. So here I am, like...
You don't even know these
guys. I don't even get to see the guys that are shitting.
Yeah, you don't even know who these guys are.
Yeah, so it's just rando shit that I'm cleaning. But then I'd have to go home, shower, get all the shit off me, and then go to Willie's, the grocery store, to be a bag boy.
Willie's, huh?
Yeah, Willie Super Value. That was the name of the owner, the original owner who started it, Big Willie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, that was a good first, like, tossing 2 jobs to start off. Like, I didn't just have one job. I was kind of, balancing 2 different things.
You were fucking pressure washing hogs and helping out Willie's.
I was washing shit by morning and carrying Granny's groceries by night.
You were holding Willie's Johnsons?
Yeah. Well, we had Willie's.
There's like a lot of hogs and Johnsons and Willie's and...
Oh, but the worst part was, so we're in these metal fucking trailers washing shit, right? I can't even, like, if you haven't done this before, you can't really explain how to...
I think everyone's done this.
But you're in tight quarters, so, like, I'm on the bottom row, hog washing, getting all this shit out. Don't even get to see the hogs that are creating all this shit, so it's kind of upsetting. But you gotta crouch down, otherwise if you stand up straight, you're hitting your head on beams. So every fucking time I would wash these trailers, you'd forget that you're in a little closed area. You'd fucking jolt up for something.
You hit your hog rod.
You fucking hit your hog rod on the top ceiling, and then it's just it's 130 degrees. So you could just imagine just like how boiling, like fucking pissed you get. So like there was half the times I'd fucking just take that pressure washer, I'd fucking throw that bitch on the ground, and I'd storm out. Take a little walk.
Kind of what you do here.
Yeah, and then get back to the shit.
Well, the shit gives back to you.
Yeah, exactly. So by that time, I had all the steam blowed off so I could get to my other job, having to help Granny get her fucking groceries to the car. And it involved, like, I'd also, like, stock shelves. And the biggest thing was, so I had this buddy that worked at the grocery store with me. Now, obviously, you get a break. You get to go up to the break room and eat. Well, my buddy, I didn't really know any better. He's just like, oh yeah, you just take food from the shelves and you go on break. You're like, I'm like, you don't have to pay for it? He's like, oh, no, I never do. So, like, a week goes by, and we're just taking food from the deli and stuff like that and going up and eating. And then he gets called into the office one day, and they're like, yeah, we got to fire you. We've been watching you steal food and go on break. And I'm sitting here and, like, hearing all this go on, and I'm like...
You said you don't know I wash hogs on the side, obviously.
Yeah, but I've been stealing groceries for, like, 2 weeks, and then I luckily didn't get fired. But that, I learned my lesson, like, nothing in life, there's no such thing as a free lunch.
I've had a few.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is such thing.
Yeah, but somebody's got to pay for it. That's the whole point of the saying. Yes, you might be getting a free lunch, but at the end of the day, somebody had to pay for that.
I know Outlet did free lunches, no one paid for it.
The food just appeared out of...
Well, they're local dogs from the local market.
Nice.
Like local hot dogs we gave out for free.
Local Johnson's?
But the hot dogs were mixed and matched and kind of pumped together by the local meatery. And they got that extra meat. You know what a hot dog is, right?
Yeah, it's like a combination of a bunch of different
It's all the
parts.
meats that they don't want to use anymore. So
Yeah.
it's basically toss-out meat. And we were able to get a donation from one of the largest food meat pantries in Fargo for a free food bonanza for Outlet for a nice day of free dogs, music.
So everybody
door
at Outlet was
prizes.
just guzzling glizzies?
No, because there's a certain amount that we could only give out. I think it was like a half a dog a customer. And then if they bought something, we would do 2 dogs. So one for like a wife and...
Buy one dog, get,
No, if you buy something, you'd get free dogs. But essentially, the whole point is that they were free dogs.
Okay. Yeah, well,
And
if
there
you
are
got
a lot
local meatery like that, a meatery? Is that what they're called? I think it's called like a meat locker.
No, this one was a meatery because it was a spot where multiple types of meat were getting mashed up. You know Pelican Rapids, the chicken co-op?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that, but even worse.
Just
For deers, Johnsons, hogs.
what's your favorite type of meat from the meatery?
Johnsons.
Just straight up, like what kind of Johnson?
Shout out Sean Johnson. Miss you, buddy.
Hey, I set up his wedding.
That's all right. What was the question? See, you got me on.
What kind of Johnsons do you like?
I just said Johnsonville.
Is it like a brand?
Johnsonville.
And Johnsonville brats.
Yes, that's right. Shout out to Sean.
Do you like the cheddar brats, the jalapeno brats?
I can't have cheddar, remember?
You bigger? Oh yeah, you don't like.
I'm
you're
lactose.
lactosing.
I'm lactose, and honestly, I'm not even lactose. And I just found out that I would eat cheese. I'd get breakouts. I'd get acne from eating cheese and dairy.
It's more so like a food allergy.
I just cut it out, and then my face gets clear. And then I eat a little cheese, and I should get a little pimple here or there. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, check that out. If you guys get pimples or something, I just realized I was eating a lot of dairy, and then one day, and check this out. I watched a little snippet. I had really bad acne early on in my life, and then I was like, God, it just never would fully go away. And I watched a Dr. Phil snippet where some guy was on there, and he said he just cut out dairy, and face went completely clear.
And that makes a lot of sense because I
Thanks.
have this theory that I don't think you're supposed to take in dairy products besides as an infant, from the mother, when you're in those growing stages. I think that once you're past, you're getting weaned off the nip, per se, that you don't...
You've never
you're not
weaned off
supposed
the
to,
nip, though.
I'm off the nip.
So
I love
your
my
ex
mom.
said
Shout
you
out,
used
Mom.
Your ex said he used to suck her nip.
I did. I'd suck that shit like a chrome off a trailer.
You just said
hitch,
you were off the nip.
Well, but I wasn't
goes,
like.
yeah,
it's not like she was producing milk. She wasn't pregnant, so I was just. It was a dry suck. It was a
Okay.
dry suck.
Well, you're a cock.
No, I'm a dry suck.
It just rhymed.
I'm a dry suck. I like a quick fuck.
We're not rapping here, dude.
Oh, I thought it went well. But, anyways, there's a lot of research that goes into there's a lot of cancers in drinking like milk and stuff.
That's why no one drinks milk anymore. It's obsolete.
But isn't that crazy? As we were growing up, do you remember in high school all
A
those
lot of shit has
posters
changed,
in
What did they say?
got milk,
Good job.
and then they had their little milk mustache.
That was
and
actually
they-
a spin-off getting bukkakied.
Yeah, that was the original facial.
The old Got Milk commercial was a spin-off, an old Pornhub commercial, bukkake.
Cue the Pornhub thumb.
You know what a bukkake is?
Yeah, it's when
It's
is
what
it when
automated.
several dudes
No, just
come on your face?
it could just be one dude. It could be just one dude. But say it's your buddy Mike, and he just shoots a load over and hits you in the face.
Mike from the gym.
Yeah, if he
Oh,
shoots
okay.
a load over and hits you in the face, that's a bukkake. He
okay.
just bukkaked you.
So there's no difference between a facial and a bukkake, is what you're trying to tell me.
Well, a facial you could pay for. Yeah.
Okay.
But-
Bukkakes are always free.
Well, you can get a facial at any spa.
True.
No,
True. But
bukkake
I'm in
is
regards to like
the real deal.
the real
You,
facial.
some of the
Like a
facials,
pearl necklace.
some of the facials around here are close to a bukkake, but not full. So facial is going to be about a 0.25 of your load.
And a bukkake is 100%.
100% of the load to the face. And usually a bukkake is going to be mostly in the eyes and less around the mouth and ears.
Okay. Okay.
So, but
Gosh, that would sting. I mean, can you imagine getting
well,
that
you
shit?
know what it feels like.
I do not know what it's like. You motherfucker. Getting a little hot in here. Woo!
See, whenever these gay moments come, we just let them keep talking, folks.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
No, I was gonna go into what my first job was, and I was fucking slinging out vacuums. So when this actually was not my first job. My first job was kind of similar to you. I worked stocking shelves at a little grocery store.
What was it called?
Tony Super Value. Shout out Tony. He's doing. How you doing?
Tony.
How you doing, Tony?
Tony.
Hey, Tony. So I stocked shelves there. Early morning gig. Had to be up at 4 a.m. and then I went to school afterwards. But anyways, then after that I worked for Rapid and I put together conveyor belts.
You did?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like small manufacturing?
Rapid was a conveyor belt company that was big company that it was their manufacturer was in Hawley, Minnesota, but they ship stuff all around the world.
Okay.
India, yeah. But I was just doing small, like putting together bolts and shit of different parts of the
Like on an assembly line.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But when I moved to Hawaii, I had to get a job, and I obviously wanted a good job, and I wanted a good paying job. Well, I was looking on Craigslist, and I found this job. I can't remember what I was saying. It was like $1,500 or $2,000 a week, and I was like, that sounds like that would work for me. And so there was no description of what the job actually entailed. It just said to reach out, and then they would set up an interview if everything looked good. Well, they set up an interview. I showed up to this building somewhere downtown in Waikiki, and it was in this office space, and there's this guy in there, and I come in there, and he's got a box, and he goes, I'm with Kirby Vacuums, and today we're going to be taking this Kirby out, and we're going to be, it's in like a million fucking pieces, and we're going to take it out, and we're going to put it back into the box. So we're going to take out all the pieces, and then we're going to just put it back in the box, see how fast you can do it. Now, I know what a Kirby vacuum is, and if you guys don't know what a Kirby vacuum is, I'm going to tell you. It is a very nice vacuum. It fucking works really well, but they are very expensive, like very expensive. When we were younger, my mom had one, so I knew about it, but we had it for over like 20 years because it just never...
So they last.
They last.
Yeah.
They're definitely worth it, but they're just expensive. You could go through fucking like 4 of the $400 ones before you went through one of the other ones. Anyways, so that was the gig. It was putting together Kirby vacuums and then going door to door selling them. And then I had asked my mom about the Kirby vacuum, and she told me that's how she bought hers about 20 years ago. So I figured, why not follow the family tradition and get right into the family biz? And so I just started fucking doing it. And so the way the schedule worked is you'd get in a van. They'd have about 9 to 10 people. We'd get in a van at 9 a.m. or 8. We'd show up at 8. We'd get on the road by 9, or we'd be in a neighborhood by 9 a.m. They'd start dropping off girls to go door to door, asking people if they'd like a free cleaning. Once these people accept the free cleaning, that is when they say, spend dog, go do your work, baby, put in that work. And I show up with the Kirby vacuum in a box. I let them know I'm here to clean and I'm here to do it mean. And I start unpacking that box. Most of the time, I'd say 75% of the time, the family just said, free cleaning? And they're like, yeah, free cleaning. It'll just take us a little bit. And they're like, sure. And I show up, they're eating dinner, they're fucking having meetings, they're not planning to watch me clean and then talk about it. They just thought they got a free cleaning from Kirby Vacuums. And so then I show up and they're having one particular scenario, they're having lunch or dinner, and I'm just in their living room cleaning the floors while they're having dinner.
So awkward.
And what you do with this vacuum is it has little sockets to it. So the display vacuum we're using, obviously instead of where the bag goes, you have little sockets or pieces of paper that go in there, and then they fill up with dirt. And so you just automatically, every time it gets dirty, pull it out, pull it out. And then the idea is that you have their whole living room filled with all this dust. And then you grab their vacuum, and then you go 2 runs with theirs, 2 runs with that one. I mean, 99% of the time, the Kirby was 100% better. It's not what they signed up for. They're not signed up to me do a sales presentation in their fucking living room. So anyways, and then as I'm cleaning, I say, so what do you think about buying this thing? You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh wow, that cleans well. And I'm like, okay, how about you buy it? And then I said, the one way to really sell it is to get to the mattress. Because if you can get to the mattress, you'll pull up a bunch of dead bed bugs and shit, and it will really gross everyone out. It's hard to say, can I get to your mattress and vacuum it?
Yeah.
So anyways, that was quite rough. And one day, I showed up to a old Asian lady's house, and she was pretty much deaf. And so we are going back and forth. I'm doing the thing with the vacuum. She sees the dirt, but she can't talk to me. She just sees it. So we're like, dirt. And she sees dirt, and then I write down the price of it. It was like $4,000. But if you're in the military, if you're old, you have AIDS, anything that you have, they'll just start taking discounts off it. Next thing you know, it's only $1,200. It's like, see, it was at $4,000, now we're at $1,200. You're like,
what a steal.
That is a steal. So, anyway, she's like, yeah, I want to buy it. She gets out her checkbook and everything, and I'm just thinking, this seems illegal. And so I called the manager guy. He said, yeah, we're not going to do that. And then the day I had my last straw, I was in a house and I was doing the same things I'm always supposed to be doing. And then they tell you no. They're like, yeah, no, I don't want. You don't need to do that. You don't need to vacuum my bed. You don't need to. I just thought you were going to clean the fucking floor and the things they said you're going to clean. And I was just done with it. I said, you know what, man? They want me to get to your bed. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. And in about 5 minutes, a manager's going to call and say, where are we at? And then he's going to come in and he's going to hound you even harder. And I said, I'm just going to fill you in because I'm going to quit after this.
Oh, so you told them the whole scheme.
Yeah.
Oh, then, that's against the rules,
And then they came in and he did exactly what I told him he was going to do. And the guy's a teacher and he was just looking at him and goes, yeah, man, I don't want it. I can't afford it. And I said what he's going to do when you say you can't afford it, because there's always something that you do every time they say
rebuttal.
this. Yeah, rebuttal to everything they say. And then at the end of it, I just said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. I ain't working 9 to 9 p.m. going door to door selling $4,000 vacuums. And so that was one of my first jobs. And
after that, is that when you moved to the beach?
Yeah, then I went to Waikiki Sheraton, or I worked for the beach services for Waikiki Sheraton. Ran all the surfboard rentals, beach rentals on the beach.
That sounds like a lot better job.
Yeah, it was night and day difference.
Like just I couldn't
You couldn't understand it probably.
Well, no, I get it. As a guy that was in sales for about 8 years and still am,
If you can't sell a vacuum, you can't sell nothing.
I have a conscience. Is that what they call it? Yeah. Like I would feel like
You don't have a conscience.
I have a conscience. I have a very good conscience.
You have a conch.
I have a But I couldn't bear like having like it was almost like you pimped out these girls to go to the front door. You guys were like a fucking pimp ring.
Yeah, we were pimping.
And then you were the pimps that came up and be like, all right, you gonna buy the hooker?
Yeah, we did.
Literally.
That. We did.
And an expensive ass hooker.
Yeah.
Like.
And this one doesn't. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, it definitely sucks. It's got a big bag on it. So.
It sucks and got its big bags. I'd buy that.
Okay. Oh yeah, we got a new sponsor for today's video. We're over halfway through. Today's sponsor, we want to thank these guys for reaching out. We didn't even really know they existed until they reached out for us for our first sponsorship. It's only our 4th pod. So today's sponsor are actually partnered with SeatGeek. It is SeatPeek. Now what you guys are wondering what SeatPeek is, it is an all new app that you can download that basically checks all the SeatGeek seats before you sit down. So we're talking COVID, AIDS, STDs, any of the main viruses that are floating around in the air right now. SeatPeek is going to check those seats for you. So you check on you get your seat on SeatGeek, you check SeatPeek. Let's say your seat is C27, you check seat C27. The last person that sat there potentially had COVID. You know you can switch seats with SeatPeek and there's no charge at all, because your safety is number one. So again, we want to thank you for sponsoring today's video. Again, thank you, SeatPeek. You can use the code 30 and DIRT, 30 and dirt, for 20% off at checkout. So thank you guys. Thank you SeatPeak for sponsoring today's video.
Another sponsorship is our
Finders
very
Keepers
own clothing line, vintage clothing.
What are we going to be doing every show? Tell them, dude. Sorry.
We are going to be showcasing our different pieces, and if you see one of your pieces that you like and we're wearing it, we also give you a 10% discount on that piece itself.
But it has to be what? On the week we shot it, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Let's try that again. But it has to be
on the week you shot it, motherfucker.
We shot it, not you.
Yeah,
it has to be on the week we shot it, motherfuckers. Fuckers.
You heard it here first. We're on Facebook. The shop is live. We also post stuff on Instagram. And if there's stuff you'd like to see in the shop, please just let us know. We're always looking for new ideas.
So there's a vintage piece you're looking for, like a sick, like this one's sick. This is a fucking Harley Davidson Bahamas t-shirt. This is from
the Bahamas. And it's actually like a Harley Davidson branded shirt, which is, it's not, like a cheap print off. A lot of these are like original branded.
I'd say about half of them are like straight originals, half of them are like kind of one-offs. But the one-offs ones are like 10, 15, 20 bucks. Super cheap. So, but we're trying to make the shop kind of versatile to anyone. So we're gonna have, bags, towels. I really think the beach towels are cool because I've never seen anyone selling vintage beach towels. So check out the shop, see if you like anything, and if you like something, just fucking buy it, dude. We'll ship it to you. Okay, and then we are going to be creating t-shirts here in the next couple weeks because we're getting such a heavy following. In the last 2 weeks, guys, we've got over 450,000 followers across all of our platforms. That's TikTok, what's the new one?
Threads,
Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter,
TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, Twitter. So we want to thank you guys for all subscribing and hitting that smash like button and raping all the other buttons, because the next shirt that we're going to be dropping is going to be kind of based off of our first job. So we're kind of going to be based off the first episode, and it's going to be the 30 and Dirty logo. And then on the back, it's going to be Johnson's Hog Cleaner. So we're going to have basically
one of our sponsors.
Well, yeah, Johnson's Hog Cleaners back home.
Yep.
We're going to basically just put their name on a shirt, but we're going to have kind of like a picture of Bo washing down a Johnson. And it might not be a hog, it might be a penis.
Yeah, do you guys want to see a pig or an actual hog? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you guys leave in the comments, would you rather us put an actual pig on there or like a dirty penis that Bo is pressure washing off? I'm not sure if we could do that, but I'd definitely try if you guys are down for it.
Yeah. I think that'd be good merch too. I don't see why anybody would want to buy that, especially if it had like a Johnson, like not an actual penis on the back.
Dude, what about
the
weather?
A nice hot. Are you talking about Kelvin?
So Calvin, we had a tropical storm Calvin come in and
hurricane.
Well, I believe it was brothers with Frank who came last year around this time, and that guy, same thing. He kind of shied off when he got close. Little pussy boy. He's got a 2-incher.
So tell the audience, please, why do these hurricanes turn into smaller storms once they get close to Hawaii?
Why don't you fucking tell them?
You told me.
Exactly. So what happens, guys, is when they start getting close, the state of Hawaii likes to make everyone super worried. Make sure to stock up on food. Go to the grocery store. Buy tons of shit so no one else can buy shit. It's like, why the fuck would you say that? It happens the same time. So here's what happened, guys. Tropical storms come from all over the world, kind of passing through these waters. When they get close to us, within like 500 miles, the water is so warm around us that basically the storm just dies off, and we get like 25% of the storm we were actually going to get. So every time Hawaii told us we have a tropical storm Calvin coming, be ready, go to the store, stock up on shit. It was weak as hell. Bo said we should talk about the storm in the pod. I said, fuck that. That ain't even coming. And look at it. It's supposed to be storming today. If you guys could see it, it is clear as day outside.
Yeah.
So
it was just a bunch of drizzle.
Calvin can get fucked, dude. Calvin.
And wind. I know my mom was texting me. She's like, hey, I heard there's a storm coming. Like, please be safe. Keep me updated. I was a little bit scared, but...
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But we're all okay.
It's all right. You guys...
But it has an actual hurricane. Is it possible for a full-blown hurricane to actually come through?
I don't even know why you would say that. Yes, anything is possible.
Okay. When's the last time that's happened and why? Do you know?
You just asked if it's possible.
Yeah.
Or you could have a hurricane almost anywhere.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I mean, that's facts. You could ask fucking Dr. Phil that one.
What would Dr. Phil do?
Now, one thing else I want to talk about, guys, is we did drop our first vlog on our vlog channel on GoGo Rental Behind the Adventure. Danny Duncan came to town. That was one of the coolest fucking things ever. We always hit up any celebrities that are coming to the island to try to do some sort of collab with them, and so we always reach out to people. It's just whether they hit us back, and more times than not recently, a lot of the more famous people have been hitting us back. So we hit up Danny, gave him a free moped to wreck. He ended up not wrecking it because he didn't want to basically get in trouble with the island or make someone mad by wrecking it, leaving it in the water, disrespecting something on the island, which is probably a smart idea. So we actually got the moped back. But then when he came to the shop, we were talking about a ride out. We all met up. They rode with us in our smart car. His videographer shot out of our smart car, and he's a really cool, down to earth guy. I mean, at the end of the day, I've met a few famous people, and majority of them are pretty standoffish, which I can understand. Yeah. But he seemed like just a regular dude, like one of the guys. He was actually like cool as shit. So that was super cool. But the vlog is live. It's about 7 minutes. It kind of just goes into detail of him showing up, picking up the moped, and then us meeting up for the ride out. We're going to be posting a vlog every single week, or every other week at least. We'll be posting videos every week, but sometimes there'll be different content. We shot another vlog already, so we have 2 vlogs in the work. This one's live. The next one will be live this coming week. That one we went out to the Waikai, did some surfing. That's a lineup 100-foot wave. So yes, go check out our GoGo Rental Behind the Adventure. I do believe this Monday we're going to a mansion where Joe Coy is to drop off 13 mopeds that he's getting for 13 days. The bill came out to like $14,000 for moped rentals for a weekend.
And for everybody that doesn't know who Joe Coy is, he is a famous comedian.
Go look him up. He's funny.
Yeah, he's got good shit.
So anyways, the vlog channel is going to be pretty action-packed. We were waiting for some more action to happen to start it. Obviously, this seemed like a good spot to have when Danny Duncan showed up. So check that out. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. We definitely appreciate it. And we're going to keep posting vlogs or fucking podcasts here every week. We're at 27 minutes. We're going to call it probably, unless you got some more things you want to talk about.
No, I think that was a good discussion on our first jobs. If you guys want to put it in the comments below, tell us about your dirty first job or shitty first job. We'd love to see your guys' answers. And then we can maybe make fun of them next time on our podcast. Yeah, this whole pod is not going to be anything like serious. It's all be fucking around, just fucking off, because he's going to be pretty serious, as you saw in some of the... I'm a goofy bastard. As in some of the 2 earlier episodes, he was pretty stale, but I think he's going to peek out of it. He's gonna peek out of his shell. He might have to start drinking again to get anything from him. Yeah. But I do believe that. Could you imagine, dude, if I was drunk on this? I don't think that would be content. But I think you think that everyone wants to see you drunk. That's the actual the opposite. It could be different now. Absolute opposite. It's been 7 months. Maybe I've changed drunk. I don't think so. No. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. But no, I think that most of these pods we're gonna try to just be an open book where we just discuss topics we like to talk about. I know in the first 2 pods we were kind of like bringing up topics and like saying, so what's the next topic? You guys don't want to. We just want to go right into discussion and talk openly about shit. Yeah. We're trying to learn from some other podcasters like the Sea Boys. They do it good. They just basically open up a great line of communication and they go back and forth with banter, jokes, fun knowledge. I mean, those guys fuck. So we're going to try to get on some levels like that to make it a little bit more entertaining. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're not going to skip a beat. We're going to be posting every single week a podcast. I may be running behind on posting them, but we are going to have shot them. So we will always have ones ready to post, just how fast I can get it up and edited. How fast can you get it up? Well, my dingle broke on my MacBook, so I got to go to Best Buy and get a new dingle so I can put the fucking... Not the dingle! You broke your dingle 100 times. Shut the fuck up. I've got a big dingle! He does. Woo! You have a small bladder, dude. I have a small bladder. That doesn't mean anything about reciprocating on... All right, leave in the comments what you guys think a small bladder would produce. Do you think someone with a small bladder can have a giant Johnson? I don't. I don't see why they couldn't. But
You need a big.
say this is Spencer and this is Bo.
We don't have to do that. I think that was probably maybe good.
Okay.
Okay, well, yeah. Talk to you guys. Have a nice one.
Yeah, talk to you later, fuckers.
See you later, losers. Catch you guys in the next one, you fucking faggots.
Ooh, thanks.
I'm gonna bleep that one out, you fucking bleeps. Don't be coming at me like this. Don't come at me.
Sounds moist, brother.
It's hot as fuck.
It's disgusting.
It's called the stinky swamp nuts. Shut up. You shut up, brother.
Oh, woo, it's hot as